Howdy, everybody. Sam Goodman, the Hop Nerd, bringing you something a little different, a Hop Snippet. Here is a piece of my conversation with the amazing Dave Provan. I think you're going to like this one. I think you're going to love this one. I think you're just going to have more of this one. Make sure you cruise on back to the podcast. Listen to the full episode if you enjoyed this little snippet clip. And make sure that you're following along with everything that Dave has going on, along with ForgeWorks. I'll shut up. Let's jump right in. Organizations, we create clunk just in general, right? In the way, I love the way you put it. Focusing on the safety of work rather than creating safety work, right? And I think we see so much of that just in organizations in general, well beyond safety, right? We just create clunky systems a lot of times that require a lot of just administratium in general, right? Big organizations seem to love to cling to paperwork in some form or another, some process that includes paperwork or checks of this and checks of that are all documented and run through our legal departments, and it just ends up in this massive 3-ring binder of stuff. So I think in a lot of those roles, at least what I've personally seen around the utility space, is we end up seeing a lot of managers that are managers of things rather than leaders of people, right? They're managing programs and they're managing paper and they're managing the things that the organization has made important for them to manage, and they've lost sight on the fact that they need to be leading their people. But organizations kind of tuned them in that direction, the demands that have been placed upon them, right? But it's interesting to see that kind of disappear now that we're going, well, none of that's really important right now. Put that on pause. How do we just make things work at a basic level right now? How do we stay operational?
Look, organizations, that's how they work. And I see that with, that'd be my call out to, the effectiveness of a safety practitioner is that, and I see this in organizations with safety teams that maybe don't have the ability to influence, people and the ability to influence the way that work happens. It's like, well, I'm sitting here at my desk. I'm a safety person. What do I have the ability to do? And if you don't have the ability to do those things, okay, I can write another policy or I can write another procedure and I can go to management and say, I now want this form to be filled out or I now want this to be done. And if that's kind of like where you're, if that's the only lever you've got in the business, then that's the lever that you're going to pull hard. And I think as you get in larger organizations, that becomes an obvious lever for people to pull on. And you're right. What's happening right now is companies are just going, all that stuff isn't the most important thing at the moment. And we're seeing it disappear. And no one's, people aren't dying and people aren't getting hurt. So, I really, I'm hoping companies and safety practitioners are going to reflect and go, well, all that stuff didn't really change. It wasn't a game changer for the organization. So do we need it all back?
And I think that's it. I think that's a really important conversation to have. And I'm hoping that that's maybe some of the silver lining that comes out of this for our organization is some of that conversation, right? Is what's truly important, right? I don't think any of us are going to advocate to just burn rules completely out of organizations. Rules, I think have a place in organizations, right? As much as I want to be a complete anarchist, I can't go complete anarchy, right? I guess I'd be more of an organizational minarchist, I guess would be more of the terminology I would use.
Yep.
But so I think organizations kind of post-COVID having that conversation, kind of as we mentioned, around, what's effective? What do we really lean on when shit hits the fan? What do we really lean on? What's there that's really important to us and what's not so important? And maybe we should have that conversation. And it's going to be different, I would assume, for every organization. I mean, you obviously can't paint that with some wide swath of brush.
No, but look, I think down to basics, like you said, people are always the most important thing. Relationships and free flow of information and communication is always the most important thing. Everyone in the organization having a really solid, aligned understanding of the way that work happens, and the risks and people face and the support that they need to do their job is really important. So if you're a safety practitioner or a manager now, you're going, okay, my people are really important. Getting, information flowing in my organization is really important. Knowing how work happens and what people need is really important. And kind of that's the safety formula, that's it. It's not much more complicated than that.